Hi, Ed Kimsey from Reed's Hobby Shop. This is the first in a series of how-to videos that we've decided to put online for our new YouTube channel. So I don't currently have a model railroad layout, but I have a dream layout in mind. I want to model Santa Fe from La Junta with the trackage up to Pueblo, and then the Colorado joint line up to Big Lift south of Denver. And so I have the scenes in mind that I want to model. And this building this design is very common in Colorado, and it turns out there's 3 of them, buildings based on this design in the scenes that I want to model. So today I want to do a how-to of how to build the Walthers modern, what they call the modern concrete grocery warehouse. So there's 3 of these structures that will end up on my dream layout, and the great thing about this kit is it's modular, so you can size it to whatever design you have. And then another thing I've always found is when you build a kit, you always learn a few things along the way. And so I thought if I could build this kit and share those things that I learned with you, it might make it easier for you guys to build it, give you some ideas how maybe you can customize this for your layout, whatever it is. Normally I'm not a big fan of unboxing videos, but I think it is important for a kit like this just to go through it so you can take inventory of all the sprues that are in there, make sure all the sprues are in there. If anything does come up missing, you could always order it through Walthers. They've helped us in the past with missing pieces. So there's 2 of this smaller piece right here. They're identical. Those are all the exterior walls. Of course, it comes with directions and some signage. And there's 2 of these. It's got the kit label, and that's with the A suffix. This one's not labeled with the kit name, but this set is labeled with the A suffix. And then this kit, this sprue, is labeled with the B suffix. So these are both identical. So of these yellow cream colored ones, there should be 2 each of the 3 styles. There's a clear plastic. There are 2 of these dark gray kind of door frames, if you will. 2 of the white large, various size roll-up doors. There's 2 of these. It's a roof section and then some air conditioning details. These are some extra long pieces for the flooring or to help square it up in the frame. And then there's 1 of this with the windows. So this is one of the modular wall sections. I just came up with my own naming convention. Is I call these a 1, and then these narrow ones I call them a half. So these are 12 foot in width, and these are 24 feet in width. But just to make the math easy for myself, when I'm laying out a building, I think of it as a 1 and a half. So, for example, if there was on the end was 2 of these and 1 on the half piece, I'd call that 2.5 wide. And that's the default that the roof is scaled for. And that just keeps it easy for me in my mind to keep track of it. The other thing to note, most of these pieces are identical and can go anywhere that you want. But there are these pieces that I would call the corner pieces. And these corner pieces have the ridge right here. So those are the ones that go in the corners. So there's 4 of them. There's the open doors, and then there is on the other sprue the solid wall. So those 4 have to be in your corner pieces. Those could be either on the ends or on the faces, but they're the 4 corners of each side. And then so for example, if you have it on the face, they'll be faced this way. The width can be any distance that you want. And then likewise, in between them, you can make it any width that you want. These 2 buildings here are across the tracks from the station in Colorado Springs, Colorado. And so these would be prominent in the background of my layout. The back side would be facing the viewing side. The viewing side would be the back side. And so the front facing sides will be up against the backdrop, but I still want to make those as realistic as I can, just for fun. So the lower building, I built that one already ahead of time, and then this upper building is the one that we're going to take a look at during this build. So the next picture of the sequence is the east side, or the side that'll be facing away from the viewing audience, but I still want to try and get it just for fun. I want to try and get it as accurate as possible. You'll see there's these small windows along these bays. I'm not going to try and copy those. That'd be too much work. But the roll-up doors and the personnel doors are what we're going to work on. One thing to note, this is the most recent picture from 2024. I'm modeling 1995, so obviously Google doesn't go back that far. But I can go back to earlier dates just to see if there's any differences. So in this next shot, back to 2011, shows actually that center door is a roll-up door, whereas it's a personnel door in later videos. So I will make it a roll-up door just to try and capture that piece. So this is a hand drawing I did of those two buildings from the Google Earth. And what's nice with Google is you can get measurements and actually really close measurements to get the right proportions of the buildings. So I measured them 57, both of them 57 feet wide. This one was 97 feet long, and the northern one, which we're on model today, is 133 feet wide, if you will. And so, as I mentioned earlier, I use I break it down into units. So this will be 2.5 units wide and 5.5 units, I guess, this long, depending on how you associate it. And again, you're rounding it to the nearest 12th, and so this is actually very close to 60 feet. This is really close to, was it 132? So that works out nicely. So let me just show you again these corner pieces that I talk about. These are the corner pieces have this vertical edge right here, whereas the other blanks, it's just the horizontal piece right there. Also note that it is scored here. If you want to make the building flush and didn't want that blank area, you could cut down the whole building and put it to that size. I won't be doing that for this one. So these are the four corner pieces with those vertical edges. Those go there, so those define my corners. Then that allows me these front face to use any one. These are all identical pieces, and they're not corner pieces, and so they can be used. They can be laid out any way you want to. The back side has got these two large doors that are centered up on just off the edge. So if you remember, I told you that I did the way I do my dimensions. This building is 2.5 wide, so 2 whole pieces, a half piece, and then it's 5.5 long, so 5 whole pieces, 1 half piece. In order on this side, I have to get this door is on a half piece. The 3 roll-ups are on a full piece. Then this the man door was a double door, so that's a half piece. Another full piece for, actually that's the wrong door. This is the right size. So 4 roll-up doors, that man door, and then this is for spacing. It's pretty close to the front side to where the front side of the building looks. Again, that'll be facing away from the viewer, but just for fun, I wanted to make it as accurate as I could. So these are this will be the sides of the building. So this is again those corners, and then you got the roof line here. So these are all lined up, and again here's the scoring on there. What I really like about this kit, besides being modular, where you just design your own kit or your own layout, is it comes with these fasteners, and these fasteners line up the walls really nice and flush. Now I am using a piece of glass here. It's best to have a really hard surface so that we don't get any dips, but these pieces right here really do a good job, and I'll give you a quick demonstration on that. I'm using plastic cement. I've gone back and forth between this and CAA. Still not sure which I like best, but this has been working pretty good for this kit. So just snap this down, it only goes on one way. There you go. And so that holds the wall nice and flush. Do just a little more on the edge. Maybe capillary action will suck that in. And once you get everything lined up, it just snaps right in. And seal the edges here, hopefully. Just to help out. All right. So this is one of the side walls, and so you see we got those vertical edges here, where the opposite walls will meet, and then again the line up here shows you the roof line. That's where the roof is going to set. So that's how you know you've got placed correctly. And then the double piece is here at the bottom, and then just snaps everything in place. Okay, so here I have the front side laid out, and so again, just kind of lays it out to make sure I've got the arrangement I want. This is what it's going to look like, what I want it to look like. And then the key is to obviously just flip them over. Don't flip them that way, flip them this way. so that they stay aligned and you don't reshuffle them. And then again, we'll just go down the line and glue all those pieces together. All right, so I've got all 4 walls done here. So time to set them up. So this is where those vertical edges I talked about come in. This kit fits together pretty well. That roof line was your guide, so that's why I was messing that up. So these kits go together really well. But obviously it's critically important to get that 90 right there. I like to use these little clamps, and I forget the name of this brand. I think we have them in stock here, but these are really handy for just squaring up that 90-degree corner. And obviously if you get the 2 opposite corners done, then it should come together pretty square. All right, so I've got these 2 walls glued together, got a pretty good 90, and then this clamp holds it. With the ridges, you can only do it on the one side, but I just keep the pressure up against this while it dries, and usually it works out pretty good. This kit really goes together well. It's one of the reasons why I love this kit. Besides, it's being able to switch around and do all these different, to customize it for what you want. It's just the ease that it comes together. All right, so I got each of these each half set up. I've let that dry. I've used the clip to make sure I got my 90. And like I said, everything fits really flush, so it is really nice. Now if these are dry, I'll just take the clamps off. It's upside down, so I always forget which way to go. There we go. Join the 2 sides, and then again, I'll use the clamps now on the opposite corners, again, to make sure I got that 90 as best I can. It's gonna be pretty squared up anyway. And there's a little slight bow to these walls, but we can take care of that later in the process. Okay, so I put I've connected the 2 sides together and glued and then clamped the opposite corners, and we'll give that a little time to dry. All right, so we've allowed this to dry. I'll take the corner pieces off once I figure out which way to turn the nut. And just a reminder, I did this on this glass surface, so we got a really nice flat flush surface to get those corners to fit perfectly. And then, like I said, those tabs get all the edges to line up properly. So here's a first look at the finished building. Okay, so next stop is going to be the paint booth for the building here. I've got my doors already painted, so these will be the roll-up doors. Actually, these are not the roll-up doors there. These are the roll-up doors on the back. This will be the window, the glass door here, and then the solid door here. They don't do a clear single door, which it looks like in the pictures, a clear single door, but close enough for government work. And again, it'll be on the back side. So it's gonna be close and it's gonna look good. All right, so it's the next day, and I painted the structure my special concrete color and let it dry overnight. And so ready to continue to move on. Hopefully in the title of this, we put something about the secret Ed doesn't want to tell, but I have to. So here's a secret that I didn't want to tell, but I have to. Sometimes I don't buy all my paints at Reed. Sometimes I buy them at Home Depot. And so this is what I use for buildings. I have this Rust-Oleum gray primer, and it's a good base color. So what I do is I'll paint the whole thing this gray color, and then this color's got, I don't know, it's a little bit buff. I can't speak to colors because I don't know what colors are really. But so I spray a solid base of this, and then I'll come in and just give a light coating of this, and I feel like it really gives the concrete structure some dimension. And so you can see it's not completely uniform, and I don't go for completely uniform. Whenever I see concrete, it's not usually one uniform color. So I feel like this combo of these two makes a really realistic finish for concrete. So I did not buy these at Reed's. I bought them at Home Depot. All right, so the other things I did was I glued on the stairs. The kit comes with these single wide stairs. I glued 2 of them together here to make double wide for that door. This could be a little bit wider door. The other thing I did is I put these angle brackets in here. There is a ridge line all the way around for the roof, but obviously it's a very tight fit, and so this just gives a little bit more support. And the building does tend to bow out a little bit, so eventually when I am in place the structure, I will glue that and kind of push it in just a little bit to make sure that the roof finishes flush. roll-up doors, and they're already in white plastic, but I still like to paint them just because, even though I'm gonna go the same color. I just feel like it looks a little bit better if it's got that painted finish. And then the same with the door here. This is the door that's gonna go in that opening there, and I'll paint that frame silver. So the kit comes with this clear plastic section to simulate glass. It's got these notches here, which match the part so that they fit real nicely. And then the roll-up doors have these little glass inserts, and so there's each of the roll-up doors has the glass inserts to go in those holes. Okay, so to glue everyone has trouble with the gluing glass, this plastic simulated glass, and getting glue on it and get it fogged up. So what I did buy at Reed's is Tester's canopy glue. This stuff is perfect it's designed for the clear plastic. You can glue on, put the glue on the frame, put the clear plastic on it, and it sticks well without leaving a foggy mess. Okay, so all the doors are now installed. Most of the doors fit like into a little pocket, and you can actually just pop it in from the rear, and you can actually feel it pop in. These small roll-up doors, however, there's just not enough ridge to really feel it, so you have to glue them on the back and then watch from the front to make sure that you get the line up proper. And the big doors in the rear, they have a little more dip, a little more lip on it, so those actually do pop in just a little bit. So the building is pretty much done here, and so now it's time to start on the roof. So here's a shot of the roof of the building. You can see there's no HVAC on it, so that'll simplify it, but there are a number of roof vents that you can see from the shadows that they cast. While the kit does come with roof sections that you can splice together, I thought it'd be easier just to take one large piece of styrene and just cut it out and do the roof that way. So that was the way I proceeded. My first thought was, looking at these vents, I thought, well, I can just draw a coordinate system and measure out the exact distances of where the roof vents are. And then I realized, you know what? I could probably just eyeball it. No one's going to know the difference, and it'll still look good. All right, so here's the roof. So what I did was I just scribed out a piece of styrene, and I drilled holes where I thought those vent pipes should go. So for the covering on it, this is a new experiment, and I don't know if this is a good idea or not, but this is what I did, and time will tell. I used this 3M adhesive spray, and then I had this white sand that I had for another project, like decorative sand that you get from the craft stores, not from Reed's. And so I sprayed it. So first I did a little sample piece. I sprayed it, put the sand on it, and it looked great. So then I tried the whole piece, and it looked good, but after it dried, it basically all just rubbed off. So I came back again, and I tried it and sprayed it, put the sand on, sprayed a second coat, put more sand on. So I ended up doing 3 coats and then doing a coat of spray over it. So it looks pretty good, but we'll see. It did make some bumps here. You can see I don't love those bumps, but it's going to be on the roof, so it's not going to be that visible. And there is texture on the roof, so we'll see how it goes. So time will tell if this is a good process or not. Try it at home if you want, and let me know how your results are. And or swing by Reed's and I'll let you know how our results were. And so from the picture, it looks like there was 2 taller stacks that have caps, and so I got those off the Walthers roof details, and I'll put those in there. And then for the other shorter vents, I got this aluminum tubing, the smallest aluminum tubing that K&S makes, and so I'm just going to cut segments of this so that the top will be open, and I think that should be a good look. I've never done that before, but I'm going to try it here for this kit. Okay, so I use it's 3/32 aluminum tubing to make the roof vents there. So I have the 2 large vents I showed you earlier, and then of course the aluminum tubing you have to cut it with a razor saw. If you try and cut it with nippers, it'll crush the ends. So I use the razor saw, and they end up being a little bit different length, but it probably doesn't matter. So anyway, I kind of like the effect of it, and so we're ready to put the roof onto the building. And there we go. So I had this last little piece I forgot to put on, that rubber diaphragm. Just the one door has that. There's two different size diaphragms come with the kit, and I thought the bigger one looked like it fit better, so I went with that one, but there are two different sizes. And there are these holes here. I'm not sure exactly what those went for. I'll fill those in at some point, or maybe I won't because this side's facing away from the viewer. But anyway, this is the kit. We're pretty much done for now. Eventually I'll want to put lights in above each of the doors, but again, the back side will be the side that we viewed from the railroad. So, but at least we'll get the glow from behind the building once I get to that dream layout sometime in the future. So we'll show you here the one last shot of the building, and then we'll show you the prototype. And you can compare the two here to see how they look. So here's the building from Google, the Google Street Scene from 2011. It's the oldest clear picture I have of it. Do you see some differences? The building here is painted tan, and the older pictures it was gray. And I'm just going to presume that those roll-up doors were white in the beginning, so I painted them white. So one of the things I'm trying to do is, as I mentioned earlier, is I modeled the Santa Fe, and I'm covering the Colorado Joint Line in La Junta before the Santa Fe merger. And so there's this YouTube channel by Walt Lovey, and he has a lot of videos from the Joint Line primarily, but a few other places through the 80s, 90s, 2000s, and beyond. But just a wealth of material for me to copy, to be able to see the locations back during the time frame when the Santa Fe was still in existence. And in this case, this is a shot of the two buildings that the buildings that we're making. The closest one to the camera is the building that I actually did for you on camera. I did the second building off camera, but this shows the back side of it. So you see the two roll-up doors, and you can see that back in the 90s when this was taken, that the whole building was gray. So I went with that gray, not the yellow that you saw in the later photos. But anyway, Walt's channel, I just want to throw shout out to him. Great videos. He's got dozens of videos on there, and a great resource if you're looking for information from the Colorado Joint Line. Okay, so that's pretty much it. You see the kit, you've seen it compared to the actual photos. Real fun kit to build. You can customize it to whatever size or shape you need it to be based on the modular design. It's easy goes together easily. Pieces fit well, and it was just a joy to build. I enjoyed it, and I hope you enjoyed this video of watching me build it. This is one of the first of our online videos. We'll be doing more in the future, and hopefully I'll get smoother at my delivery. And anyway, we do have this kit for sale at Reed's Hobbies if you come see us here in La Mesa, California. And they'll check on our online store. We're adding products to our online store every day, reeds-hobbies.com.